Okay, so 2025 is pretty much here, and there are so many things to look forward to when it comes to credit cards. Now, I made a few predictions last year for 2024, and I think it'd be great to do the same for 2025. We already know that there are new cards coming out and updates to existing cards, but how exactly will this be done? And will it have any effect on the credit card market at large? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer those questions and also give my 5 2025 credit card predictions. Now, before I get into those new predictions, let's review my 2024 predictions and see if they came true or not. My first prediction for 2024 was that Amex will continue to increase annual fees, and we all know that happened with not just one, but multiple American Express credit cards. My second prediction was that Chase would refresh the Sapphire Reserve card, which, no, that definitely didn't happen, but I still think that it should. My third prediction was that Wells Fargo would become a major issuer in the travel credit card space. And while I think that they didn't become a major issuer, they certainly put their foot in the travel arena since they not only released the autographed Journey card, but also release their transfer partner lineup. My fourth prediction was that US Bank would remain the same and not do anything interesting. And I was pretty wrong with this one, as US Bank really shook up their Altitude lineup this year. The Altitude Connect lost its annual fee, but a quarterly cap was put on the Forex gas category of $1,000. The Altitude Go was updated to have a $2,000 quarterly cap on the Forex dining category starting in April 2025. The Altitude Reserve card was closed to new applicants, and the US Bank Smartly card was released. And on the business side, the Altitude Power card was released at the beginning of 2024. So definitely a lot of changes with the US Bank, but from my view, most of them weren't really helpful for us, except for maybe the release of the US Bank Smartly credit card. And finally, my fifth prediction was that American Express would introduce a semi-monthly statement credit. And while they didn't do that specifically, they did refresh the Amex Gold card, which now has 3 different monthly and a single semi-annual statement credit. So tallying the 2024 results, we can see that I was 2 for 5 and had a 40% prediction rate. Now, as we all know, past performance does not predict future results, so just keep that in mind as we move into 2025's predictions. And as a quick disclaimer, I have no insider information or knowledge. This is just for fun, and these are all only just speculation at this point. Okay, so let's start with my first prediction for 2025, which is that American Express will announce an increase in the annual fee for the Platinum and the Business Platinum cards. Now, the last time both of these cards were updated was back in 2021, so about 3 to 4 years ago. And a big refresh is definitely coming down the pipeline. That's a fact. The only question is when. Even at the end of 2024, the Business Platinum received a new statement credit, which was a $200 annual Hilton credit divided into 4 $50 quarterly credits, much like the one on the Hilton Surpass card. And there's a number of reasons why I think an imminent annual fee refresh is coming. The first is that both annual fees were raised to $695 in 2021. And as we all know, inflation has skyrocketed since then. It's more expensive than ever to buy the same products in 2024 as compared to 2021. So naturally, the Amex Platinum annual fee is going to follow suit as well. I've also made several videos over the past year about how crowded airport lounges are, especially the Centurion lounges. I mean, airport lounges are supposed to make things more relaxing, not more stressful. And with consistent lines to get into the lounge, as well as the overcrowding, airport lounges, at least domestically, are just not what they used to be. Amex has had their new guest policy now for several years, where you'll need to pay $50 to bring an adult guest into the Centurion Lounge, as well as charging $195 per personal Platinum authorized user. But even with these changes, things just seem to be getting worse, not better. And with the Business Platinum, I mentioned earlier about the somewhat silent addition of the Hilton statement credit to this card. And now that you get more value, is this a harbinger of an increase to the annual fee to the Business Platinum? Well, only time will tell. Now, I'm not sure which card will have its annual fee increased first, the Platinum or the Business Platinum. When this happened with the Gold and Business Gold cards, the Business Gold had its annual fee increased first on February 1st, 2024, followed about 8 months later on October 1st, 2024 for the Personal Gold card. Based on this new Hilton statement credit on the Business Platinum, my guess is that we'll see an announcement to raise the annual fee on the Business Platinum card first. And I say announcement because my prediction is that we'll hear at least an announcement to update the annual fees of the Business Platinum and Platinum cards, which may or may not happen in 2025 or 2026. And I'm calling it now. The annual fee increase will likely be in the $895 to $995 range. Again, I think those announcements are coming because the Platinum and Business Platinum card need to be updated if they ever want to get Centurion Lounge access under better control and if they want to continue to add more of these statement credits. Because one thing is for certain, They're definitely not going to add these statement credits for free. So moving on from American Express, my second prediction is that Citibank will release their Strata Elite card. Now, we've all been excited about Citi this year because not only did they refresh their Premier card to their Strata Premier card, but they also recently released the news concerning their partnership with American Airlines. Specifically, Citi will acquire the Barclays American Airlines co-branded credit card portfolio, making them the exclusive issuer of the American Airlines credit card lineup. While this won't be fully completed until 2026, this is a great move for Citibank as they can continue to expand their partnership with American Airlines in a big way. And I know we're all thinking if Citi will eventually be adding American Airlines to their transfer partner list, and I'm sure that this is in the works too. With American Airlines as a transfer partner, this would make their travel partner lineup incredibly powerful. But the introduction of a new luxury travel credit card would just supercharge this as well. The last time Citi had a luxury travel credit card was the Citi Prestige card, which was closed to new applicants in 2021. This was a pretty amazing card with some powerful multipliers, a $250 travel credit, a complimentary 4th hotel night free benefit, and a Priority Pass membership for a $495 annual fee. With the exclusive deal now finalized with American Airlines, this opens the door to the possibility of American Airlines specific benefits on this new Citi luxury travel credit card that would complete their Strata lineup. There are a lot of directions that Citi could take. One direction is to be like American Express and have similar alleged benefits with some minor differences, for example, when comparing the Platinum card and the Delta Reserve card. Or they could be like Chase, who has the United portfolio, but their Chase Sapphire Reserve card doesn't give any United specific benefits like United Club Access. Regardless of whether this card comes out in 2025 or not, it's definitely coming out at some point, and it'll be interesting to see what path they take. I think it's more likely that they'll go the Chase route, but if Citi decides to go the Amex route, this may put more pressure on Chase to finally revamp their Sapphire Reserve card to include United-specific benefits, so we'll just have to see what happens. And speaking of new luxury travel credit cards, my next prediction is that the new Alaska Airlines Premium Credit Card is going to shake up the airline credit card space in a big way. This card is projected to be released in the summer of 2025 and will be a part of Bank of America's lineup. What makes this card particularly exciting is how unique it is when compared to other cards of its type. It's currently being marketed as the Premium Alaska Credit Card, which would be Alaska's highest tier card, yet the annual fee is expected to be $395, so definitely giving off some Capital One Venture X vibes. Now, when it comes to airline credit cards, some examples of cards that exist between the mid-tier and highest tier categories are cards like the Chase United Quest card with a $250 annual fee, and the Amex Delta Platinum card with an annual fee of $350. But since Alaska miles are so good, more and more people are realizing how valuable it is to be a part of this program. And so I foresee this card being very successful. And the reason why they're so valuable is that they can be transferred to other airlines in the One World Alliance, usually for a pretty good redemption. The card is also going to offer a Global Companion Award certificate, as well as a very interesting category of 3x points back on foreign purchases. And for these reasons, I'm pretty excited for this card myself, and I don't even fly Alaska. But here's the thing. I certainly may fly on another airline in the One World Alliance for an international trip like Cathay Pacific or Japan Airlines, so depending on the flexibility of the Global Companion Certificate, this still may be a great option. I'm super curious about how this card is going to be received by the credit card community at large when it comes out, and if it makes sense for my situation, I'll probably jump on the bandwagon too. And it's nice that this card is being offered at the $395 price point, and I think that this is a really good move. Like I said earlier, they probably saw how successful the Capital One Venture X was and definitely took a page out of their book. Now, my fourth prediction is about the Bilt card, and this may be somewhat of a hot take. We all know that Bilt sent an email to its users in December 2024 that detailed some updates to Bilt and their credit card product. Well, there were a number of updates. The one that stood out to me, and probably everyone else, is that in 2025, they plan on offering a system for you to earn points on mortgage payments. But my prediction regarding this is that while Bilt will introduce a point system for mortgage payments, there's going to be a catch. Now, before we go any further, I want to point out that I personally have and use the Bilt MasterCard as a part of my core credit card setup, mainly as a restaurant card and for rent. Since I need to use this card 5 times to earn points on my rent, I make this requirement as seamless as possible in my daily life by just using this card at sit-down restaurants, which I certainly do at least 5 times a month. And like how points for rent have that little 5 transaction caveat, there's definitely going to be something similar when it comes to earning points on mortgage payments. And so what are some possibilities? Well, the one that I think is the most likely is that you would earn 1 point for every $2 spent on mortgage payments. This would be one way to make this accessible to everyone, but not make it too expensive for Bilt. Now, I'm aware that some of you already earn on mortgage payments, and although I've never asked, I assume the earnings are also one-to-one, just like rent payments. So these earnings would probably continue if your mortgage is with a specific bank, but maybe would have that 1-to-2 earnings ratio if your mortgage was with a different bank. Now, if they don't go that route, there's so many other possibilities. You could earn on mortgages, but now the Bilt card has an annual fee. You could earn on mortgages, but you have to use the card 30 times a month or spend at least $500 on it per month to earn points. You could earn on mortgages, but only if your mortgage payment falls on a Tuesday. So yeah, you get the picture. And while I'm sort of making fun of the Bilt card just a little bit, I do recognize that they are continuing to innovate and improve their product, so I have a lot of respect for their team from that perspective. The thing is, with the Bilt MasterCard, we can't have it all. And while they'll try to sell us an innovative new feature, always make sure to check the fine print below because we all know that sometimes they hide some pretty important information down there. Okay, so that brings me to my fifth prediction for 2025, and it has to do with US Bank. I predict that US Bank will announce a new luxury travel credit card in 2025. Now, as all of you who watch my channel know, I'm a huge fan of the US Bank Altitude Reserve card. Luckily, a lot of you were able to get this card before it was closed off to new applicants in early November 2024. And as of the recording of this video, this is still the case. So this begs the question, is US Bank going to bring back the Altitude Reserve? And if they do, is it going to be the same card or is it going to be modified in some way? My prediction is that the Altitude Reserve is not going to be coming back. And it's going to be like the Citi Prestige card where it exists for those who have it in the same form for as long as you keep the card open. But with the Altitude Reserve card gone, this leaves a very big hole in US Bank's lineup where they don't really have a luxury travel credit card anymore. Now, US Bank has never been known to be a strong contender in the travel credit card space, mainly due to their lack of transfer partners. But with Bank of America getting a premium Alaska credit card, US Bank is now the only major bank that doesn't have a unique selling proposition when it comes to conventional rewards involving travel. What I mean by this is that even though they have a travel portal, they don't have any credit cards that can earn you miles or points on airlines or hotels. With that in mind, my guess is that they're going to follow in Bank of America's footsteps, and like the Premium Rewards Elite credit card, which was released in early 2022, US Bank will release a similar credit card with very much similar multipliers and benefits. US Bank really surprised me in 2024 and had a lot of changes. So we'll see if they keep up that momentum or not. So those are my 5 credit card predictions for 2025. It's going to be fun to see how I do this year, and hopefully I'll do a little bit better than I did in 2024. And of course, every year I learn something new about credit cards. And if you want to see the 3 lessons I learned in 2024, check out this video next.